Good evening, all.
Good evening, Coach.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So
Good evening.
today we'll go to the next, I think we'll spend a bit of some time together, hopefully for 2 hours. Yeah, so I hope you have charged your phones, your laptops, and you have loaded enough bundles for this session. We'll first start with the if functions. I'll try in a way to actually explain what these if functions is or are. In a normal language, street language, whenever you use a word if, you are actually bringing in 3 things into effect. First is the logic. Secondly, is if the conditions of the logic that you have brought in is true, what is the output or what is the result? If not, what is the result? Or else, what is the result? If I use a word, say, if I was born in a rich family, I would have a lot of houses. So ideally, what you are saying is that you're not born in a rich family and you don't have those houses, you are poor. Maybe. I shouldn't use that term. So the if function brings in 3 functional arguments. Logic, and if it's true, what is the result? Or else, what is the result? So I type equals if. Tab, as long as you see it in blue, and that is what you want, you press tab and press Control A. You hold Control and press A. So you have the logical test. Value if it's true. Value if it is false. I think all regions also have these logical tests. For those, and I know that in Zambia, it's a Christian nation, but doesn't mean that everyone is Christian. But for those that are Christians, you believe that if you lead a sinless life here on earth, you go to this beautiful, beautiful place called heaven, where you need not to work for you to eat. You need not to work for you to clothe yourself and your family. I hope you have a family up there. But everything will be almost the things that you struggle here on earth. They'll be in abundance. And you'll be able to access them. If you need bundles, you don't need to go to Starlink and start paying for those bundles at 700 or 770 or 1,000. Those will be accessed. But if you lead a life with the episodes of sins, it doesn't matter how many sins you have, but episodes of sins, the result is that you'll find yourself in hell. And based on how the religion is depicted, or how the religion depicts hell, is that you'll find fire there. You'll be burning. You'll be in a pain. But one thing that is assured when you're in hell is that you will not die. Because that's a punishment. You will continue feeling this pain. So in short, here what it says is, what is a logic test? So if you are looking at the logic test, here we say sinless life. So if I come here, down, and type equals, if tab, Control A, we can do that, but we still have some good examples. I have this in K, I say, if that equals to inverted comma, again, when you're dealing with Excel, Chiwe, anything that is hard-coded, you actually need to cover it with inverted commas. Anything that you want to hard-code in a formula, you need to cover it with inverted commas, those double ones like this. So type sinless. So what is the value if it is true, if you are leading a sinless life here on earth? From what we are meant to believe is that you have a good life in heaven. Almost everything will be free. Actually, everything will be free, not almost. Everything will be free. You just wake up, means I wake up in the morning, you find someone is bringing a cup of coffee for you. Someone's bringing 200 megabytes of internet.
Of data.
Of data, sorry. So ideally, that is what heaven is. But if you decide to live a life, doesn't matter whether you are a serial killer or you have episodes of small sins, you'll find yourself in hell. And burnt with fire. Sadly, no death. So you can't escape this one. At least on earth, you can escape your problems, die. But this, nothing. So this becomes your output. This is your result. This is your result. Shuko, are you there? If you lead a life of
Yes, I am.
small sins, it's just small sins that sometimes you do them, but you enjoy them. So you do some small sins, you go to hell, bent, swimming in fire, and sadly, even when you want to die, you will not die. You wish that there was death, but you won't die. If you decide to lead a sinless life, I will sure you will have a good life in heaven. Ladies and gentlemen, that is what this if function is. We can use if function to create beautiful scenarios. For me, I look at this as a scenario-based type of an Excel function. That's how I look at it. It's just based on scenarios. Mute yourself, Alexander. So now we come to another example. And this is how life is. There are those that will be born from the moleculars. There are those that will be born from the Bill Gates. So here we can come up with a scenario and say equals if, let's do it together. It's silly, but let's do it together. So the logical test here is that if you go to I3, if you are actually, if I3, which is molecular there, let's say your father, if your father is molecular. If it is true that your father is molecular, then you have to work hard in life to succeed. So say, I have to work hard. I have to work hard to succeed. If it is Bill Gates, or else if it is any other father, but in this case, we are actually looking at Bill Gates. For example, if your father is Bill Gates, you can afford to be, you say, I can afford to be seed. Write that. The gods are on my side. Say press OK. So if I change here from molecular to Bill Gates, I can afford to be silly, the gods are on my side. If I go to molecular, how is sure you have to work extra hard in life. But this if function, we don't use it for these examples. I was just trying to give you a real life example of what this word called if is. Even when you use it in no day-to-day conversations, all you're actually doing is that you're bringing in three things: the logical test, the results if it's true, or else the results if it is false. But here, if you check, we have only put two conditions. That is what this ordinarily the if function is. Thank you to Microsoft. In the recent past, they have introduced a function that is called ifs. Anywhere where you see an SA or a plural function, like some ifs, just know that it actually includes so many criteria. Before that, should be 2 years ago, there was only one conditional function, the if. It was just if, meaning that you have to nest, you need to have a skill to nest it. I'm going to show you that the way it was before they introduced ifs. I don't want you to learn the hard way. Then because current Excel or Microsoft Excel, they have embedded an if function that replaces nesting the functions. But let me show you how you nest a function. You need not to do it. You can actually do it after I've uploaded this on YouTube. You can follow through because there's an easier way in which it can be done. And I don't want you to struggle. This is how we used to do it, guys. We say equals if tab. What is the logical test? I pick A8. You can follow me. You can. I'll be very slow. But it is not mandatory that you should do this because there's an easier way of doing it. So you say if, first check here, maybe let me explain. You have number of items. All you want is to have a price. If the price here is 15, based on the quantities, to give me the price, the total price. If it is 12, it should give me the price. If it's 10.5, it will give me the price. But what I don't want to do, Alexander, is to hard code these prices because there is an issue here. Any products that you buy between 0 to 5, the price is 15. Anything above 6 but below 50 or 50 and below is 12. Anything above 50 and below 150 is 10.5. So I want to nest the formula here so that as I change the number there, number of items, as you buy these items because they are discounts, your pricing system is volume based. The price is dependent on the number of quantities that you buy. Obviously, there are ranges. So we'll say equals if press tab. So the logical test here is if this number in here, if I buy the number of items that I've bought are less or equal to the number there, the first part of my pricing. So the first part of my pricing in terms of the ranges is at 0 to 5. If it is less or equal to the first range, which is 5, then let the price be 5. Do that, please. I'll be waiting for you. That is the value, if true, if you can see where it is, it will be in bold. So if the moment I type comma, it will take me to value false. So if value is false, again, I'll type if, because I'm nesting. Tab. Again, I'll do the same thing. Go into A8, say less or equal to, go to the next range, which is 50 there. If what I've bought is less or equal to 50, then the price must be 12. Or else, anything above 50, the price must be that. Hello? There's someone who's trying to say something? Then I lock. Not locking, sorry. I close the bracket. So check the formula there, guys. Press enter. Supposed to have 2 brackets. So this is the formula in there in case you want it. That's the formula. Or you're saying that if the units that you have bought are less or equal to the first range, which is 5. The price is, or it shall be 15. If the units you have bought, again, you go into another nested formula. Now you nest the if function. If the units that you have bought are less or equal to 50, which is the next range, the price shall be 12, or else the price shall be 10.5. So I've given you, there's a formula here. But like I said, for those that have an updated Microsoft Excel or with an updated version, you don't need to worry about the if functions. We can go to B9. Go to B9, Shuko, go to B9. Shuko, where is Isaac?
Uh,
Where is Isaac?
I'm not sure where Isaac. I'm not sure where he is.
Okay. I don't want to start seeing those Word documents, you know, from that side. Should be doing sensitivity analysis.
All right, noted.
Yeah, because others will be giving us problems. So you go to B9. So there's a new function, like I said. It's IFS, meaning it's plural. So it has a number of conditions, tab. So tab and press Control A. If you don't want to press Control A, guys, you do this. Equals ifs press tab. Take your cursor to the FX here, where there's the insert function, and you press that. The function argument box will be open. Will be open, sorry. So what's the logic test here? The logic test is that the number of units in here must be less or equal to the first range in there. And if it is true, you click in there. And if it is true, pick this number there, which is in C3. You know what Microsoft now is actually doing, especially with these dynamic arrays that they have introduced the functions. Before that, these functions were there, but we needed to hold Control, Shift, and Enter key, and it will give you the carry brackets. That is how dynamic arrays were. But what Microsoft has done has actually made modeling very, very easy. What is now more challenging and interesting is creating functions which people in your department, in your organization can be using. Those days we used to use UDF. I used to create my own functions. When I see that the Excel functions are not working well, I would create my own functions. I think one day I'll demonstrate to you how I used to do it, because we are limited. For example, those days, VLOOKUP, because natural VLOOKUP doesn't go the other side. So I had to create my own VLOOKUP going the other side from right to left using the UDF. But now what is happening is that because of these dynamic arrays, which I'll train you and you perfect your skill set. It's now much, much easier to develop models. And it's just cool. So this is the first logical test. Remember what we used to do, we say if, then you bring in, if this is less or equal to this number, give me this price. Then or else again, comma. Or else you put if again, you do whatever, you continue. So what they have done is that they have created this function which they're calling ifs. So you go to the logic test, again you pick these guys. Copy, you pick it here, but then I have to edit in here. If A8, the number of units that I've bought, are less or equal to B4, value if it's true, give me the tariff of 12. Again, you go to another logical test. Just pick this and you edit it. $150 there. If the value is true, give me this. Then press OK. Just press OK for me. Press OK. So if I change this, change the number of items, show 2, it will give you 15 as price. If I go to 7 or to 8, it will give me 12. Within the range, if I go to 45, I'll still have 12. But if I go to 73, I'll have 10.5. Would use the if functions in creating pay as you earn. You know how your pay as you earn is. I've done a lot of videos on pay as you earn by using the nested if functions. You want to know how much you're supposed to pay to ZRI, for example. You can use these nested if functions. I think even the concept of mobile money charges is actually based on what you have just learned. If you are sending, say, 1,000 kwacha, it will be a different rate. From a deposit of, say, 100 kwacha. If you are sending 100 kwacha, it will be different from the one who has actually, who is sending 10,000 or 15,000 kwacha. So you have those differences, but it is based on the same principle. It's logicals that you embed into your business logic. Zara, how is Adonis London? Which town? Been too quiet.
Hi, I'm in Rochester, Kent, outside London.
Okay, I'm sure these days now you are shining, huh?
Oh yeah,
with
definitely.
these Excel skills.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I even want to now go. I need to get to finance manager, then CFO.
Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be. You just need to learn about these techniques. They'll take
Oh
you
yeah.
somewhere. I've always joked that you need to learn these skills. One day you'll be able to to buy food from just these skills
That's
and feed
true.
yourself. Mhm. Okay, so what I was just trying to say, guys, that this time, uh, modeling is becoming much easier than 10 or 15 years when we started modeling. It was extremely difficult, guys. But I used to spend a lot of time to just get to understand the science behind Excel. I realized that everything that you see here on Earth is a representation of numbers from 0 to 255. And there are only three colors: red, green, blue. So I was invited by Zambia Institute of Chartered Accountants to go and explain about financial modeling and Excel. The class was highly filled up. I had over 200 people that came for that session. And I demonstrated to them on how you can use numbers to create graphics. And we were playing with those numbers and codes and RGB. When they checked on their screen, they were able to see me, and they never believed it. So those days was very difficult. Yeah, let's just do something together. I know these are freebies that I just need to give you once in a while for you to keep on getting these skills and have them as part of your toolbox, in your toolbox. For example, you want to show your percentages. You want to show your percentages from graduating maybe from 5, or let me say from 2. Should I say from 5? From 5 to 100. How would you do it? This is how you do it, guys. You say equals text, type text. Text then tab. Shuko, have you done that?
No, I haven't, but I'm following.
Oh, okay, continue following. Then type sequence. The moment you introduce sequence, guys, you introduce magic in your function. Every function, the moment you introduce an array, a dynamic array function, you introduce magic in your thing. And this is why modeling is becoming more interesting and much easier. Sequence tab. You want rows? No, we want columns. How many columns? 20. Starting from where? Starting from 5. Or say 0.05. Yes, that's 5%. In what steps? We want to be moving at 0.05. Close like this. Just copy. So you have seen what is highlighted is the value. So I'll need to change that into my desired format, which is percentages. So type comma. You'll see now it has moved to format text. It's very interesting, guys. And because I'm going to hard code my format text. So I'll need to have the inverted commas, like I said, type 0%, then inverted comma like this. Copy, close bracket. If you have done that, then you can press enter and you see the magic. Memory, have you managed? Guys, we haven't started looking at complicated things. Why are you all quiet?
I'm
We are
on my
together.
phone.
Okay, yes, Zara.
I was saying I'm on my phone. The laptop is not working, so
Oh,
yeah, I just have to follow the video, and then once I get the recording, then I'll practice all this.
okay, okay.
Mine has brought percentages
Yes. So,
from 5 to 100.
So just
Okay.
by doing this thing, guys, it's a miracle. By introducing, like what I'm saying, by introducing a dynamic array function within an Excel formula, you create magic. That's it. You create magic. So press enter. So you can see how it is growing up to 100. So this is how we used to use dynamic array functions, guys. Then I'll have to count like this. Check the trouble we used to go through. If I want to transpose these numbers, I have to count 20 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You can do that. Just do that. This is how we should do it. And then I'll say equals transpose and bring in the array. Close bracket there. Then we used to call these functions as CSE functions, Mweza. Those days, that is how we used to call them. CSE, meaning that you hold control, you hold shift, and you press the enter key. So hold control, shift, and press the enter key like this. So you see these curly brackets. Then you know that this is a dynamic array function. Meaning, and the advantage that you cannot delete any here. That was the advantage. But it will be faster. The model that is developed in dynamic arrays is faster than the model that you just develop normal. And it's smaller in size. And it's protected because you can't delete anything unless you delete everything. But see how now easy it is to transpose these things, guys. You say equals transpose, it's all magic. Then you press there. Because you want to highlight everything I showed you last time. If you want to highlight the whole table or the whole data set, what do? You put your hash, just like this, your hash. You can see it as highlighted. This is how easy it is. So just do that, guys. Equals transpose, open bracket, pick D15, hash, press enter. There's nothing like counting 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, like what I was doing. Then you press enter like this. You have transposed. It's beautiful. Hello?
We're following, Coach.
Even
Okay,
this one,
we're
you
here.
can't delete. It has the same properties with the CSE type of stringing dynamic arrays. If I do like this, it can't. Even here, I can't delete anything within that. But what it does is that it reduces the size of your model. That's the first thing. Secondly, it actually makes your model faster. And it's protected in a way. You can't delete anything there. As long as it's a dynamic array function, guys. If I come in here, I can't delete anything. I can't. Unless I delete everything. Yes. I don't Mwiza Ochiwe. You're on the floor.
Mwiza.
Yeah, yes, Mwiza.
Sorry to take you back. I missed the part where you were working on D15. I have something, but it's not complete.
Okay, so what you do is that you come in there, say equals transpose tab.
No, on the text sequence. So I've gotten this part, but on D15.
Where? In here?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, we have no power, but let me just go on the
0.5.
Just a minute. Okay, so let me just delete this, Lisa, so that you. Okay. So this is how I was doing it. First, you have your text function. Let me just explain what this text function is, guys. This helps you in coming up with your correct format. So if you have a percentage of anything that you want to show, like for example, let me just do this. So if I have one here and I want to come up with something that makes a lot of sense, I can do this. I can say equals text. What's the value? This is the value. But how do I want the format to be? I want the format that actually shows 000-000. Then I'll do like this. So you see what is going to come out. I'll come up with something like this. If I want to show that the format here shall be that, then I'll say inverted comma, Mizan Chiwe, M1C, and do like this. And so something like that. Sorry, I shouldn't have included these things. Behaving like an amateur now, you see. And here I can do this and say inverted comma is and then to where of something like this. So then this becomes my format. So if I don't want to do this while I'm there, I can say sequence. In here, I can do like this and say sequence. Column. No, I want to go into rows. I'll say 10 rows. Column nothing. Start. Start with 1. Move at the step of 1 and close that. And come this side and press enter. So something like this. So I have a code that looks like this. So let's get back to your question. So here, what I did was to say equals text. So which text am I picking? I'll find the sequencing tab, column. I want to have 20 columns. I'll start from 0.05. And the steps will be, I'll be moving at 0.05 steps. That is on the value. How do I want to format it? I want to have it in terms of percentages. So I'll say inverted comma, 0%, inverted comma, and close. Just do that, Muisa, then press enter. Your hand is still raised. Want to ask you something?
Sorry, it's an odd hand. Let me lower it.
Amputate it.
Yes, I get it now.
Yeah, and press enter like that.
Thank you.
Okay, most welcome.
Coach, sorry.
Mhm.
I only have percentages.
You don't have percentages.
Yes.
How? Did you do what I have done there? Text, open bracket,
Let's see.
sequence, open
Oh
bracket.
no, I forgot the 0 in front of the percent. Okay.
Is
Yes,
it okay
thank
now?
you.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
it's
you.
okay.
Okay, so we go to another topic, guys. It's on relative and absolute referencing. And absolute referencing, it is where you have actually locked your column and your row. Let me give an example of this. Cell G11. When it is like this, it means that you haven't locked anything. It is relative, it is able to move. But as long as I have a dollar sign before the column, it means that I've anchored the column. I've locked the column. So here it means that one, this is relative. Sorry. I'm allowing movement. Nothing has been locked. No anchors. I haven't anchored anything. Here, I have actually anchored column G. Then we have G11 like this. I've anchored or locked row 11. We have dollar signs. The last lesson, guys, I think I even demonstrated to you the importance of these locks. It is not money, pay. These are just locks that anchor a formula so that it doesn't move. Otherwise, it's going to be rich. For example, if I want to demonstrate the importance of these anchors in your modeling or in your workbooks or worksheets or models. If, for example, you just do this, you pick the price there times and by the way, if you're using the fast rules, the modeling standards, you have to leave space like this. That's a lot of work and display. You do like this to leave space. So that it's easy to interpret and read these functions. So when you multiply like that, see, if you don't understand the importance of these anchors and the supervisor of someone, most likely you must have passed something wrong. And if also the supervisor doesn't understand these anchors, wrong decisions would have actually been made. Unfortunately, if you are in the medical field, you are a doctor or what, and through a spreadsheet, you are able to come up with the wrong decisions. Probably you killed 1 or 2 people. If you are in a corporate world, because you don't understand these anchors, you could have actually caused the bankruptcy of your company, and a lot of people again died due to depression and the strokes and all these other things. I've always been saying that, and I've always said it consistently so, the decisions that we make in the corporate world are as important in terms of saving lives as decisions that are actually made in hospitals. You read the story, and I think I should be giving you case studies where it should be backless also, where it was just a simple error that was made, and that caused a lot of problems in the UK. Just check to the modeling error. We have seen how modeling errors affect pricing and have wrong prices. Sometimes it comes from such errors, such juvenile errors, such as not understanding where a log or an anchor, a dollar sign must be or should be placed. So if you see these numbers are not innocent. It's just that you're able to see in terms of the size of these numbers, they're slightly bigger down there. But if we had smaller numbers in here, you will not notice that there are errors in this. You think everything is okay. The first one, yes, it is okay. If I come here, we go to formulas, press trace precedent, you can see that it is hitting on B2, which is a price, and A3, which is number of units. If you come to B5, you will see that instead of hitting in B2, it is actually hitting in B4 and rightfully hitting in A5. So if you go to trace precedence, you'll see that it is picking a wrong number or wrong price. Why? Because you did not anchor your price, and therefore it was actually moving as you are dragging the formula down. So what do we need to do here? is either you anchor a row or you absolutely anchor, meaning you anchor both the column and the row. So that number there, it does not move, and it will give you correct numbers. And this is why designing financial models using these normal formulas, functions, is actually becoming very problematic. Even when a model has been taken for audit, for model audit, literature review does show that errors, they will still be there. But if you use dynamic arrays, you are able to zeroize all the errors. There is no room for errors. So, in terms of locking, guys, this is what you do, because pick this P2, lock it, locking. For those that with the nice laptops, it could be FN, F4 key, those functional keys, the first ones, where you have ESC, the escape keys, there's an F4 key. So FN, F4 key, or others to be shift F4 key, others to be just pressing the F4 key and you'll be able to lock. For me, you have to press shift and F4 key. No. For me, I think, what is it? Pick this. No, it's FN, F4 key. FN, F4 key, like this. Meaning that I've locked the row and the column. So I've locked both the row and the column. It's not going to move, guys. Space times space. Those are the first standards. You can get used doing this, or you can go back. You can slide it to your usual way of actually doing it, where you don't leave any space. It's okay. But the first rules when you're developing a model, this is what they recommend for us. Okay, like that. And press enter. You can copy it down or double click like this. You see now the numbers that we had at first are much, much different from what you have now. So if you go in here, you will see that it's actually picking from B4 and A7. First questions. It is correct. Why? Because of those dollar signs. Yes, sir. Any questions?
Coach Harry, just a quick question.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, both of us are still logged in, so getting feedback. So on you mentioned something about fast rules. What do these rules relate to, and what does fast mean?
So the fast rules, these are modeling standards. I've done some few videos on them. You have issues of transparency there. You have issues of flexibility. Actually, basically, it's flexibility that the formulas that you create or the models that you create are flexible. I've done some few videos on the same. Possibly tomorrow, if I've been good mood, I'll introduce the first rules, or I'll send on the group, I'll actually send some of the lectures that I've done on first rules so that you understand what they are. But then I'll definitely send you a document, a book on first rules. These are for renowned modelers. They use those standards in developing models, from color coding to how a formula is supposed to be done, like the way it is there, you can see the space. And you shorten the formulas. But now with this introduction of dynamic arrays, you find that somehow it goes against the first rules because it's different. The game has changed and it's much, much quicker. A model that would take hours to produce, with dynamic arrays, you can produce it in under 10 minutes if you just know the formulas and you know how to nest them well. Like we are saying that the dynamic functions, they are very few, very, very few. You can master them. But you also need to understand the art of Excel, how you nest these dynamic functions with the normal Excel functions to create dynamic arrays. Issues on VLOOKUP, you'll see as we go to VLOOKUP, how I'll be using these dynamic functions. Something that will take 10 minutes in modeling. If you're using VLOOKUP, I'll take under 1 minute by using dynamic arrays.
Noted, Coach. Thank you.
Let me give you an example. Don't do it. I know we'll be looking at those things when you reach there. Let me do this, for example. Let me say you have customers, product, price, region. This is what I would do. Maybe let me start from here. This is what I would do. Suppose I want to have a product. Check what I'm going to do here, guys. Not those things you used to call what? Pivot tables, whatever. You see how I'm going to do this thing quickly. So I'll come in here and say equals filter. So which array am I picking? I'm picking this whole array here. Oh, okay. I'm picking this whole array. What do I want? I want to pick DVDs or the products equals to what? Equals to this. Common. So you check here that for those that have DVDs, there's only Nyambe who bought 41 as I'm dead. Sakwa bought 62 as I'm dead, and you can see the Sakwa here. Then bought 31 in some, again, on some other dead DVDs. Then here, I'll be able to change to CD, for example. So to show me that CD, it was Mulenga's who bought. I'll be able to change to book. Guys, dynamic arrays have changed the game. But then, if I want to also include the region, two criteria, look at how I'm going to do it. I'll say product, DVD, region, and say Eastern. It's very addictive, guys. I'll come here and say, and Esther, I included you in this class for a simple reason, for you to understand and appreciate. I know those things that you sent to me. It can be done through using this same technique that I'm showing you here. in currencies. So I can then just say equals filter. It doesn't matter the amount of data I have. I can have 1 million set of data. I'll do it within seconds. I'll do like this. What is the array here? I'm picking this whole array. Then I'll open the bracket. Which one am I starting with? I'm starting with this. You remember the some products that we were looking at some time back, some few days ago, maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. I'll pick product there, close, multiply, because now it's multiple. That's what I'm doing. Can open bracket here, pick region, because this close there, press enter. So, press enter. So here I have the same thing that we have here. If I change, I say, okay, which products am I picking? Because the scenarios they wanted us to look at, I think we'll look at them tomorrow. Yes, currency. So if I change here, I say book, I type book, sorry. To show me what is under this. There's only Sakwa under Eastern. Who bought books? Who bought a book? If I go on to say, we pick CD, I change to Southern here to give me this. It's pure magic, guys. These are things that we couldn't do. We used to use some ifs. We used to use what is this thing? Pivot. So I'll come here and create a pivot. Just for that. It's set. Look at the labor. Look at the labor. Esther, look at the labor. Come here. Do this. Then say existing. Come here. Let's look. Once to here. Then I'll say I'll pick a custom one. Like that. Price. Region. And I'll come this side. Say the way they are. Say GCB. How to take a new classic. GCB. Then I'll come here and say what the options by the time listing. What is here. So now I have something like this. Then I'll say only products. Come here and pick products and have them here. And under filter score, bring them here. So here now I'll say instead of picking this, I just want to pick book. Do this. But again, I want to pick region. So region, I have to bring it there. So on the region, so region here, I'll say I'm picking Eastern. Press OK. So for Eastern there. But the moment I say Southern region, we come to Southern. Exactly the same thing that I had, but then I say a book. So of this. And then what it has done, it has added the name here and the 46 plus 53. That is what it's doing, which gives you 99 plasma length. So the advantage here is that you're able to sum. That's why you're able to see them as individual transactions, but it's still the same thing. But look at the pressure that I took and the time. What you doing? Look at those things like. So this is how your anchoring on relative and absolute referencing is. So you come to mixed referencing. Mixed referencing, what it means here is that you are not going to do your absolute anchoring. You will leave either the row unlocked or the column unlocked or unanchored. So you have this borrowing facilities. You have these facilities at different rates, 7.5, 8, and 8.5. So you want to do your computations in here. So what do you expect? You expect that you're going to log these numbers. You will log the column is. Here you actually log the row. And it gives you mixed referencing. Zara, my sincere condolences. Is it in
Thank you.
Zambia or where?
In Zambia, yes, sorry.
What time did the pass on? Oh, I said sincere condolences. Okay. So this is what we'll do, guys. Again.
I go back to the class.
I can say equals. Pick this number here. What you lock the column so that the formula can go downwards within the column. So you lock in the column again, do Fn F4. Again, you press F4. Press F4. So I've locked the column. So the dollar sign before the column letter means that you have locked the column. Times, and leave space since we are looking at the first rows. Times, in here, guys, I'll lock the row. F4. I'll hold Control and press Enter. Okay. So you're able to see if I go to formulas, trust precedent, it is picking the right cells. I come here and you pick 7.5 and 500,000. It's because of the anchors. Without the anchors, it was going to be done wrongly. There we go to the name range. This is where we end. So if you don't want to put the anchors on this, you have an option. So the option here is to name this cell. The birth name is B2, but you can change that birth name to any name that you deem fit. We have seen so many people changing these names. Yes, Zara?
Sorry, I wanted to ask, the mixed referencing, the borrowing, can you then add on that interest that you were showing? Obviously, that would, if you borrowed 500,000, the interest would be 37,500. Would that be over a year? And so if you wanted to add another column, you can just add another column to say, if you're going to repay that loan over 5 years.
Yes,
Actually, yes. Can you, yeah, I don't know whether you understand what I'm asking. So can you add that column to show? Like if you borrowed 500,000 over 5 years, this is, do you just multiply that by 5 anyway? I guess.
Yes, but for now, I know there will be time that we'll be looking at now this financial terms. For example, you have a loan facility of 500,000. And now I'm doing your work, Sarah. I know why you're asking these questions.
Just the cost of borrowing, yeah.
So you have your 500. You have your terms. Let's say 5 times 60 is what? 5 times 12 months. Okay, let's just say 5 years. But then you have to make it annual. Right? So interest, let's say, when we did, I'm trying my 10% or 5%, maybe 5%.
Actually gone up.
What?
I think even now
Maybe
borrowing
because of your LIBOR, now you're no longer LIBOR of so far plus a spread of 5 or what. So let's say 10. So we want to show the payments in here. So you have so you have 5 years. So you have your principal. You have 10. So you have your rate, which is that, you lock it, and let the interest there. Pay this. Number of payments, you have that, lock it, which is your present value is this. And I could have combined with the dynamic formula just to do it faster. That negative thing. This is your what? Like that. The number of payments, periods, and investment. Let's see. What have I done? What have I done? There's something that I have locked here, guys. Is the percentage locked? Let's diagonalize this. This one is not locked. See? And here now, you'll be interest. Which is your IMT. It's the red, this is the right log. The period is that. Number of periods, log. The loan, log. Change, we put the negative that side. Around. Number to be the same down there. Eleven. That's this. Yes, Sarah.
Pardon? I didn't say anything.
My hand is still raised.
Oh, sorry. Let me.
So when you now we're going to self-modeling, we'll be looking at all these financial functions and how you can have them as part of your toolbox. Okay. So I was here, well said. You can decide to name this cell. Its birth name is B2. You can decide to give it whichever name you want. You can go to the council and change the name. Which council do you go to? The formulas there. You go to, there's name manager. And here you can define the name. The name manager, this is your council, your local, or your municipality or your local council. Where you can change names, or you can get married and go and sit on that famous white chair, which is at the council. You still remember someone who sat like this? Yeah, that white chair. So you can go there. Even Excel has this same thing. It's called name manager. But you can define names. So you can change from B2 or from Sean Combs to Puff Daddy until you find yourself to be called P. Diddy. You start with Snoop Dogg, you go to Lion Doggy, or to Lion Snoopy until you find yourself again back to Doggy. You can name yourself. You can call yourself any name that you feel like. Similarly, even Excel has given you a provision to rename the native name to whatever name you feel like. So even here, when you go in here, you can change. You can go to define name, you click on define name. When you click on define name, or you can right click. And then go to define name down here. Or if you like shortcuts, you can press go in that cell, you can press out MMD, not UPNG, not PF, not UD or Zadeco, but MMD. That's a shortcut that you can use if you want to name that. So just press out MMD, then change the name. So in here, I'll change the name and call it price. Press OK. I hope that's what you did. So it's a out MMD. Then we change in the name of whatever name you have there. Just change it, weight price. So once you do that, you need not to anchor. So all I can do, I can just say equals price, I tab, check what I'm doing here. The moment I type price, there's that price there. Not the functions will come with the FX. The ones that I have named, it will be like an Excel spreadsheet, cells and columns, or columns and rows. Then tab, then times, I pick the units there. I press N. You don't need to anchor. Press Enter. Take it down. That's it. Any questions? Yes, Esther.
Thank you. Kindly just go back on the on naming that cell. So you said to press MMD. Are we pressing that at the same time?
Out. No, you press out, then press MMD first. So you just press out, then press MMD. So you just press out, you just press the alternate key, leave it, then press MMD.
I see. Okay.
To be able to open the numbers. Sometimes shortcuts, you know the advantage why you should first get addicted to these shortcuts. They give you some false hope or impression. People are seeing what you're doing. They will think you're a guru even before you become a guru. Fake it until it becomes real. So always show an impression that you are already good at these things. They will be forced because you don't want to get embarrassed. So I'll be forced. Eventually become a guru. Okay, so before we finally close shop, tomorrow it might be a bit difficult, guys. Obviously Wednesday will be okay. You need to learn these things that I have already taught you. Then tomorrow we continue, Wednesday we continue. Again, it's subject to my mood. But the most important thing, even if we're moving very slowly, you're getting to learn some skills that you should actually put as part of in your toolbox. So we'll do as usual the checkout. I'll start with Chiwe. So you come to the reception, there are those forms you sign. That's what I want from you. You were
Thank
waiting
you.
for it.
Yes, sorry for that. Thank you very much for the lesson today. I think, as usual, a lot of interesting and valuable insights to pick from today's lesson. I must report that from the previous lesson, I was able to apply one or two of the tricks that you had showed us. So I'm already on my way to performing magic in the office and applying the things that I'm learning. So very valuable insights. Looking forward to the next lesson to pick up on a lot more. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Zara?
Hi, thank you so much for today's lesson. It's been, like Chiwe said, very insightful, a lot to learn. The mixed referencing, the if function, I kind of know about it. I don't really use it, but I think I'm going to start using it a lot more. I like the way you explained it. Very simple terms. Well, simple for me as in where I can easily understand. So that was very, very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Zara. Emma?
Hello. Thank you so much, Coach. Of course, the lesson was very interesting. At least today we have learned, personally, I have learned new things. The if function, you know, how to show percentages from 0 up to 100 and all that kind of stuff. The text and the sequence, the relative and absolute referencing, as well as the mixed referencing. Though I think the network was very bad, I think, when we're looking at mixed referencing, but I'll be able to follow the video that will be posted for me to be so clear. Thank you.
Lisa?
Thank you so much, Coach. Today's class was a little bit more challenging for me, which I liked. So at least it's really pushing me out of my comfort zone. So I'm looking forward to learn more and to practice, especially the ifs and the mixed referencing. Thank you.
Thank you. Memory? Memory, we're waiting. Are you there? Okay, let's go to Shoko first. Shoko? Memory should come back to you.
Hello. Thank you very much for the class. I've really learned a lot and things are becoming clearer now. Issues of locking formulas are now becoming more clear what they are. And also I liked the logic, was it the logic test where we're doing that example for the price depends on the quantity and we put in those assumptions. And then now when we put in the assumptions, we're now able to like put in a certain quantity and automatically the prices will show. I think, as I said, even in the last class, such things make things easier, and we won't think that financial models will have to take 2 weeks to finish. You can actually do them in a shorter time if you know some of these things. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Apologies, my network was so bad that I kept on just kept on cutting, but at least I got something. Thank you so much.
Sure, thanks. You understand. Okay, meanwhile, we understand your technical challenges, so I'll go to Alexander.
Good evening, Coach. Thank you so much again for the opportunity. I think for me, I missed out. I think in the beginning part of the lesson, but I did pick up some of the things I think I'll be able to follow through when the recording is ready. But I think one of the takeaway points is I think just on sequencing and dynamic arrays. I think I did not know how you can actually merge some of those with the existing formulas which are ordinary that we use. So that was very, very interesting for me. And just how you could use them to be able to make your work much faster, but also more accurate. And then also, I had come across the aspect of locking, but I think it's only today that I fully understood, like someone said, the essence of locking cells. So I think now it would be, even as I do it, I think I will be doing it with much more understanding. It's much more easy also to be able to explain to other people. Otherwise, I think throughout the lesson, it's been very, very insightful. And these are key things that I think you can actually see how you can actually apply them within the working environment. So thank you so much, Coach. We are learning.
Thanks, Alexander. Enon?
Thank you very much, Coach, and thanks to everyone. My takeaway is mainly on relative and absolute referencing. This is a tool which I found it useful, which I can be able to apply more especially when I'm dealing with some budgets and some other reports which are essential at this point in time, because it makes it work easier, and it makes it, once applied effectively, the relative referencing and how to anchor column and the law, you find that the outcome comes out perfect, error-free, once you apply the absolute anchoring. I feel it's something which we need to embrace, and going forward, I will use it effectively. Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you. We have a guest member who just came in today, specifically to just appreciate what we do here. Esther will give you an opportunity. We are not segregative. We don't segregate people based on membership fees, based on membership types.
No, I like how you roll. So thank you very much. I really appreciate the opportunity to join your class. I think first things first, I've just realized my version of Excel, I need to upgrade, because clearly there are a number of things that you're doing here which my Excel doesn't have. So that's one thing that I'll definitely.
You go to 365.
Yeah, I've got 365, but I think maybe I wasn't using the 365 for this particular exercise. So maybe that's the one I should be working on. But yeah, it's been really, really encouraging. I think I've been excited looking at the dynamic arrays, because that's one of the challenges that I face day to day in terms of the hard-coded data and just how to quickly iterate things. So that's something that I really want to delve in more and understand. So thank you for the opportunity. And yeah, thanks for allowing me to join you today. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Class, I think in the next 1 hour, this lecture will be uploaded on YouTube. So you have access to watch and follow the instructions step by step. You need to do a lot of practicing before you master most of the techniques that I was actually using. Tomorrow we are not meeting, like I've said. I need to give you more time to go through what has been taught today. and just make it as part of your toolbox. Then Wednesday we'll meet. Again, I put a condition, if, since today you've learned about if you're in a good mood. Thank you so much and bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.